Hey everybody, Brian Miller, Small Town Movie Watcher, coming to you not live. I almost said live from the van, but it's not live, it's recorded from the van. I really want to do these from the comfort of my house or in front of the movie theater, but it's really becoming more and more that my schedule is saying, hey, you're in a vehicle for 2.5 hours, why don't you just make use of your time and take care of it while you're driving? Which seems like a bad idea. I'm hands-free. Oh, wait. So, recently I just watched Hacksaw Ridge, rated R. It's a movie directed by Mel Gibson and starring Andrew Garfield and Hugo Weaving and a bunch of other people. Vince Vaughn as well. Keep that thought in mind, Vince Vaughn. This movie called Hacksaw Ridge takes place on in Okinawa, Japan, during World War II. And the point of the story is about Andrew Garfield's character, who is a consenting objector. He likes to call himself a conscientious objector, but he is a consenting objector in World War II, and he is a Purple Heart recipient during that time. But anyway, this focuses in on the World War II on the Eastern Front. So we don't get a lot of movies that are taking place in Japan during World War II, which is really for shame, because I really think that there's a lot of history there that we have not really gleaned on. There just seems to be a ton of movies, war movies, that takes place on the Western Front in Europe, but not a ton of it that takes place in Asia. And I just think that's a very fascinating time, fascinating part of the war that is not being covered. So here we have Andrew Garfield's character, who is a Seventh-day Adventist. And part of their denominational religious makeup is that they are a denomination group that does not adhere to violence. They really say in the Bible that thou shalt not murder, and they really hold to that. And so, according to the movie, and not necessarily according to history, Andrew Garfield's character sees the bombing of Pearl Harbor, sees that the other men in his town are joining the military to go and fight in World War II, and he, feeling patriotic, joins up as well. And he sees his way of not fighting as being a combat medic. And in his words, when you're seeing all the world tearing itself apart, don't you want to go and fix it as well? Fix a little bit of it. So Andrew Garfield joins the military. We follow the history of Andrew Garfield's character from when he's a little boy and he gets in a fight with his brother, all the way up through him, Okinawa. And it's according to Wikipedia and other in history, this character, this person, real life person, Okinawa is his final battle before being honorably discharged from the military. And the premise of it is that this character hauled 75 people from the battlefield to safety when no one else is around. And after a battle, he's fighting the bad guys. He's not fighting. He's saving his platoon, the guys in his team. He's saving their lives because they're still alive, while being surrounded, while being targeted to be killed by Japanese soldiers. So, and I don't have a problem telling you this because it is history, it happened, is that he does this, he's honorably discharged. He earns a Purple Heart, and only one of 4 people that are conscientious objectors that have earned the Purple Heart from the military. All right, so now that I've confused you completely about what this movie is about and what it does, what's happened in it, let me tell you the good, the bad, the ugly. So, the good parts. I think that Mel Gibson is on game here, man. If you go and watch this movie, it is a war movie telling a bit about history from this person's perspective. And it is bloody, it is war, it is fire bombs, and it is bullets and snipers, and it is just war. And I would hoist it up there and compare it to Saving Private Ryan. Ron Howard, Steven Spielberg. Did they do that one? Anyway, Saving Private Ryan with Tom Hanks. I would put those two together. Those are both, I think, in a manner of war, I think both of these movies are really good movies. Now, some people will say Patton was a good movie, The Dirty Dozen was a good movie, but I really think, to me, movies that took place during wartime, I'd put Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, and I would even put Hacksaw Ridge now as 3 great war movies during my time, about World War II, during my time of movies. So I think Mel Gibson is point on right here, and he did a great job. Yes, he fell off into the loony bin and did some bad things, but he is point on in telling a story of this character from, as a boy, what made his attitude and made his future decisions, all the way through showing his faith in God in being able to make it through getting just one more guy. Dear Lord, give me the strength to just get one more guy. Dear Lord, give me the strength to just get one more guy. Man, that's almost a mantra for all of us. Dear Lord, give me the strength to just get one more. Give me the strength to just get one more. So I think he did great. Now, another great part is, like I was saying, the scenery of this movie is great. I don't know where they filmed it. They might have filmed it on an island somewhere. They could have filmed it in Australia. You could have filmed it in the backcountry of Arizona. I'm not sure. But the pyrotechnics of it, the surroundings of it, those are just fantastic. I think he got the right people to do the job, and I think they did a great job. Andrew Garfield. You know, a lot of people, when Andrew Garfield plays Spider-Man, they're like, you know, he's just not doing a good job, and, you know, he's not that great of an actor. And then he did Social Network. He did that, and he did Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and people are just like, he's not that great of an actor. And I think that Andrew Garfield did a great job with this movie. He kind of reminded me of a guy I went to school with, in high school with. He just always had a smile. He was always happy. And even when he was out on the battlefield, he was still smiling. He found something that can make you happy. And so I had that connection with this character just because he reminded me of someone else that was always happy, always smiling, and he was going to help you and make sure you could get through it. So I had that connection. So I really thought Andrew Garfield did a great job with this. Will he be up for nominations for awards? I don't think so, but I think he did a good job. Another bright spot is Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving is not his first time playing in a World War II movie. He played the Red Skull in Captain America, the First Avenger. And so he's played both sides of it. He played on the Axis side for Germany, and he played on the Allied side for the United States. Hugo Weaving played Andrew Garfield's dad in this movie, who was an alcoholic and a World War I vet. And, you know, you could see there's times in there that his character is angry, and you could see that there's remorse in his character, and I just think that he did a wonderful job. Now, let's go to the bad side. And I don't know if this is bad, but Vince Vaughn. I like Vince Vaughn. I think he's a funny guy. And Vince Vaughn has done serious pieces before. I mean, the first time, think about it, when was the first time you saw Vince Vaughn? If you're of my age, the first time you saw Vince Vaughn was Rudy, playing a linebacker for Notre Dame. You might have saw him on Rounders, playing a gambler with a serious debt problem. So Vince Vaughn has played these serious characters, and he started by playing serious characters before he started playing comedies. You know, Wedding Crashers, The Interns. So, you know, there's just his career right now is comedy. And so you see him in this movie, and you have a hard time, I have a hard time, disassociating this character he's playing, which is the drill sergeant, to be the platoon sergeant. So having a problem disassociating this serious actor, this serious wartime person, from his current catalog of comedy. I mean, he does a lot of yelling in this movie, and it just comes back, and I just keep thinking about Wedding Crashers. So that's a downer, is Vince Vaughn. I don't think that he's a downer. I just think that might be the low part of this movie. So let's go to, should you see this movie? Yes, I think that you should take the time and see it. I am 3 weeks from when this movie came out to the theaters, but I rather enjoyed it. I think that you should go out and see this movie, get the popcorn, and enjoy it. I brought down the age in this theater. Most of the people in the movie were silver hair, and it was even a later showing of the movie, but most of the people there were in their 60s or 70s, maybe mid-50s, but I was by far the youngest person at that movie. So, with that, Brian Miller, Small Town Movie Watcher, I just got done watching Hacksaw Ridge, rated R, for a copious amount of violence and blood and gunplay. But I think that you should go out and get lost in this movie and learn some history with it. Go out, find out more about the characters in World War II and the Axis team members, Japan, and their thoughts on war, and think about what the United States was doing there and why they went into war. On today, you're not going to see this today, but today is Pearl Harbor is the anniversary of Pearl Harbor being bombed. So this is a date that we should think about why we do what we do when it comes to war. And I think that this is a movie that you should go and get lost in and start that study on what's happening and why we do what we do. So with that, see you later. We'll talk to you again soon. Brian Miller, out.